33-yard line.
Coaches really don't care from what position they get this, but run after the catch ability, rack ability, is often the difference between winning and losing and changing field position.
It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. You know, Charles, for Graham, so much concern early in the season about whether he'd be ready to play this year, what would happen recovering from the tendon. Not only was he ready, he played every game this season for Seattle.
And it wasn't just the injury concern with Jimmy Graham. It's how Seattle runs their offense. Remember, when he was in New Orleans, he could expect a ton of passes to come his way. But in Seattle, that number was going to be reduced. Would he be able to maximize what they were going to throw in his direction? And he certainly did this year, 65 catches.
65 catches, just shy of 1,000 yards, 6 touchdowns, too. First down, this is Rawls. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Inside the red zone, and that means don't come away from there with anything less than 3 points, but everyone's thinking about 6. They're trying to get to the end zone. They decide to run a toss. Big people up front being mobile and moving, and a running back trying to follow behind them to find yardage, and that's exactly what he did.
And he can't hang on. That's definitely going to be one he wishes he had back. Incomplete in the end zone.
After all the preparation, all the practice, a play like that will absolutely break your heart. They had everything they wanted, just unable to complete it. In the end zone, a big-time drop.
Third down and 3. Wilson now to throw on third down. Trying to set up the screen, and it's intercepted. A great read, and now off to the races down the right side. The 40. Past the 20. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown. So a dangerous pass over the middle into zone coverage, and it bit him hard.
And what's really difficult when you throw it in that direction and versus that zone, that means the linebackers have gotten to their spot, gotten their heads back around, and they can see the quarterback and everything in front of them. And they took big advantage of it, went the other direction, excellent blocking, and picked up a touchdown.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. That's fielded in the end zone. And last year that would have been a net gain of 5 on the return. This year he stopped where he would have been if he had taken a knee, and that's at the 25. And Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
On second down, Rawls. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up. Now a play fake here on first down. Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. On second down, here's Wilson. Looking for Baldwin, intercepted. Picked off by the all-pro linebacker. It's Von Miller. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. And Denver getting set to take the field. And where the ball is now, you got the field goal pretty much in the bag. Now do you try for the end zone a couple of times?
I don't think there's any question about it. You might get a gift of 6 points rather than the 3 that you just noted that you feel like you already have. Be aggressive, go after it, and try and get those points.
And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Virgil Green as the first half is winding down, and the Broncos will extend their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And you got to think, if this is anything other than just taking a knee, I'd be very surprised.
Yeah, they've got enough to talk about at the half. Why do anything else? Just get out of there.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And this is caught by Curse. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Time for a break. We've hit halftime. 2 quarters down. 2 still remain. We step aside. This is the NFL on EA Sports. And how about this right out of the locker room? An onside kick attempt. And this one travels out of bounds, so unsuccessful there on the onside kick try. First down, it's Simeon. He goes underneath for Anderson. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. It'll be a gain of 6, and it's a second down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground. They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. On second down, here's Simeon. Catch here, left side, Thomas. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
A nickel look by Seattle on third down.
Yep, 5 defensive backs now. Back to throw, Simeon. And Fowler's got it. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. And they're on third and short. They just tried to spread the field. It worked.
And I think that the spreading of the field, the extra receivers, has really become the next in the evolutionary chain in the NFL. Go all the way back in that situation, you're handed to the fullback, right? As we evolve, maybe you pitched it to your tailback. Now you spread the field, and you have your choices of where to throw it and complete it for a first down.
First down. Here's the run with Anderson. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down.
Brandon, that play certainly felt like what I call a tendency breaker. First and 10, they dial up a draw play. That's not a normal situation, but give credit to the defense. They weren't fooled at all and really finished off the play.
Watch left. Stop right there.
They'll come out in the pistol. Here's Simeon now on second down. Looking left side and completing it to Thomas. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for third down. Thomas, the lone receiver, left. To throw is Simeon. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down. Now Brandon McManus for the Bronco field goal. He connected on his first, this from 41. And McManus able to put it through, and that will get the lead up to 14. So put another 3 on the board, and all things considered, a good opening drive here to begin the 3rd quarter.
It sure was. I think as a head coach, you're happy to come out and put a little drive together, take the 3 points, and build on your lead.
And you combine a big leg with a mile-high air, there's the outcome. This will sail out of the end zone for a touchback. Now we'll see what this Seahawks offense has in store with their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things work well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. And they're behind the sticks here a bit now, dealing with a 2nd and 12.
We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game. Really at the point of attack, the offensive line is just getting pushed around. I think now as a play caller, you got to give them a little bit of help. Maybe keep your time.
And that's caught inside the 30. It's a big hook up there. Wilson to Baldwin. And even 50 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
13 yards there on the pickup, and the Seahawks are going to have a first down. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. Back to the ground on first. Again, it's Rawls. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Now it's 2nd and 7. A 10th carry for Thomas Rawls. And he will not be denied. Into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. Thomas Rawls, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Seahawks have made this a 1-score game. And they will line up now for the 2-point try. Wilson going to throw for it. This will be caught at about the 5. And they don't get it. They tried for the 2-point conversion there, but unsuccessful. Hauschka now to send this one away following the score. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told, as he's taken down back shy of the 20. And Denver getting set to take the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking, because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try and increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
Just beating the play clock. Simeon. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Cliff Averill in there to sack him for a loss of 6. Well, they were coming out of the 4-3 defensively. Pressure coming off that right side from the DN.
And that's the blind side of most quarterbacks. If you're right-handed, that's the side you don't see quite as well. And that's why you rely on your left tackle, maybe your highest-paid offensive lineman, to take care of you. In this situation, that didn't happen.
Off the fake to Booker and Simeon. And this one is incomplete. He was trying to hit Thomas that time. Now 4th down. Here's Riley Dixon now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. He'll send this one into the mile-high air, and it's a good one. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. And Seattle now ready to march out of the field. Last time they were out, they scored. Still trailing here, though, so some work to do.
But it's okay in terms of mindset. Because they scored the last time, they're not quite...
He's got a man, complete. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. DeMarcus Ware coming in from his outside linebacker spot. He buries him for a loss of 10 or 11. On second down, here's Wilson. And this is going to be incomplete. He was trying to get it to Jermaine Kearse, and it's third down.
I had a coach tell me a long time ago that running a screen pass is similar to acting 101 for your offense, because you got to show something different and create extra space for linemen to chase the quarterback in order to create extra room for the receiver to catch the football and maneuver upfield. In this case, they'll give a lot of credit to the defense. They communicated well. You could hear them talking to each other on the field, and they reacted and knocked it away.
One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on fourth down.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there. Oh, no, he lost the football. And this one's going to go out of bounds, so no recovery. But on fourth down, a change of possession anyway.
Now, I have to admit, partner, that I've often thought that I don't like this rule, where the offensive player fumbles the ball, it goes out of bounds, and they get to keep it.
That's just because you're a defensive guy. That's why you don't like it.
Yeah, you're right. It is a slanted view, isn't it?
But this is where, for the offensive team, the sideline is their friend. Usually it's not there for him.
Yeah, exactly right. I actually played for a guy in college. You know what he used to name the sideline? Sammy. Sammy sideline, and use him well.
A solid run on first down. Gain of 7. Leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
Now Wilson on second down. They'll lock it with a grab over the middle. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go, because he might wander into some tough coverage.
This will be play number 7 on the drive. 3rd and a yard. They run with a power back. Rawls. And he will have the first down before he's tackled at the 12. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going. And the 8th play on this drive coming up.
3rd and 1, partner. No need to be fancy there. Just use some force and move forward and pick up the first down.
Wilson. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Well, that plays a statistic that's going to go on the defensive team stat sheet. Won't necessarily reflect in ours, right, the overall game sheet. But you and I know that they keep count on pressures, hits on quarterbacks, all those things, hoping to increase that throughout the game. And here we are in the 4th quarter, and they got a big one.
And such a close game, a very big one. Pitch goes to Rawls. And able to get him inside the 5 here, just inside the 5 to about the 4. 2nd down, a little more productive than first. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now. Just play after play after play on this long drive for the offense. They brought in an extra defensive back here, so probably not expecting a run on 3rd and 3.
A good call.
He dropped it. Couldn't hang on in the end zone. So no 6 points, incomplete.
Just looking at it from a defensive perspective, when you break the huddle in the red zone, tight end is one of the guys you've got to key on, because quarterbacks want the ball in their hands fast in this position, and they want to get it to someone. And in this case, he had the play, They just didn't complete it.
And with very little time left on the play clock, Pete Carroll's going to call timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And Hauschka's kick is good. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. So an interesting call there to take the 3. I guess they're thinking their hands were tied, but in the fourth quarter, that field goal, it really might not help them much at all.
Yeah, I mean, you still need a touchdown. Another field goal does you no good, so it'll be interesting to see what the media reaction is if the score stays where it is.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. And now the Seahawks are going to call another timeout. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this fourth quarter. And the defense in desperate need of a stop. They have to get off the field and get the ball back to their offense if they want a chance.
Here we go.
To throw on second is Simeon. Time for a break. And his pass incomplete. We're back to see what happens after this.
Turn right, turn right. Everyone come forward, go down. Here we go now.
3rd and long. It's Simeon. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. And a timeout here. Timeout taken, whistles blown. Timeout taken by the receiving team. That'll be their 3rd and final stoppage here as we step aside. Here's Riley Dixon now. And you wonder, could they possibly think about taking a safety here? He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Returnable for Lockett. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points.
And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Von Miller in there to drop him as the clock continues to roll. And they're going to speed things up here. He'll look to throw. And he's got Lockett. 18 yards there and a 1st down.
And fit's the exact right word. Over the middle, there's almost always traffic, so anytime you're a receiver in that area, you're not just focused on catching the football. You're wondering where the collision's going to come from, right? Because there's almost always someone there able to concentrate, catch it, and even added a little extra at the end with a short run. Really good, skillful, tough running throughout this contest. Picked up 1st down after 1st down. He's got to have a nickname, doesn't he?
Oh, no, he lost the football. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. And there's the spike. It stops the clock at 22 seconds remaining. And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. Back to throw. He's got time. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. The intended target, Doug Baldwin. Oh, it's a touchdown if he holds on. Instead, it's 4th down.
In this situation, it's really tough to figure out how to defend because they have plenty of room to still take deep shots at the end zone as they just did there. Yet at the same time, you've got to be ready for the short throw. In this case, when you see the cue that they're going for the end zone, retreat and make sure you have a way to play forward, back towards the receiver, and have a chance to bat the ball away as they did there.
He's going to let it fly. And he's got it. It's caught for a touchdown. And they have taken the lead here in the final seconds. And my friend, drama as they get the lead here in dramatic fashion in the final moments of this one.
The only way they can win, find a way into the end zone as the time was dwindling. Defense knew it, still couldn't prevent it.
And they're going to take it all the way down and just take the delay. They'll again try for 2, this time from the 7. Following the penalty, it's Rawls. And he will not get there. He comes up short. And they're unable to push this lead to a field goal as it'll remain a 1-point game. Hauschka now to send this one away following the score. This will be fielded at the 8. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. Look at the clock. Everyone knows the situation. Probably time here for one final play.
And we know what that play is going to be. It's got to be some sort of Hail Mary, throwing it towards the end zone and hoping someone can catch it or catch it off of a tip. Think back to 2000.
That's caught inside the 20. And he's in. Are you kidding me?
How do you get that
One
up?
of the most improbable ways to finish a game, and they do win it on the final play.
I think it'd be real easy here to focus on maybe a defensive breakdown with that type of a play in this situation. But let's give a little bit of credit here. That type of play is clutch.
Boy, it was clutch, but to turn it back to the defense, how crushing is that? You think you've got this thing won, and in the last moments, almost literally, you lose it.
Snatching defeat from the jaws of victory.
Well, certainly a tough loss here, but they've got to move on. I mean, you have another opponent next week. You dwell on this one, it hurts you the following week.
That's where the 24-hour rule comes into play, win or lose for all teams. Either enjoy the win for 24 or reflect on the loss for 24, then put it aside and move forward.
That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin.